make a wave, I want to get to the edge. And instead of making a sharp curve, I'm making a loop. And I'm just taping this down with masking tape. And I'm going to end up sewing kind of around it. And masking tape, you know, again, I prefer because it sticks and unsticks pretty well. There we go. Going to do another quick little loop right here, and then I'll walk this around. So I'm just going to walk this around really quick so you guys can see what it looks like. Again, I'm sorry I'm so far away.
So do you, when you're through, do you cut off, do you cut it then?
What's that?
When you're through, do you cut it, your excess cord?
The wire, yeah. When you're at the end, you can cut it off, and then you'll solder it to the power supply. So I'm going to walk this around so you guys can see it a little bit up close. So you can see I've just stuck the wire down with tape, and I'm not doing any harsh angles. Everything's just easy loops. And also, you know, I want everything to be kind of, sort of, like I don't want to do anything that's too complicated, or anything that's going to get kind of screwed up while I'm walking around. So I'm kind of trying to do like easy big curves, and stuff that's going to have a little bit of leeway when the dress, you know, waves around. There, that. There we go. And so at this point, I'm going to take my sewing needle here. And to stitch it down, I'm just going to be stitching it to the fabric. And I'm just using a very, you know, loose stitch. So another thing that's really important while you're working with this material is to consider that, you know, when you're moving around, it's going to move too. So if you look at this up close, you'll see all the stitches are very loose. And a lot of it, you know, kind of has some leeway. So, you know, this can kind of move around in the dress. You don't want it to be too tight, because then, you know, you risk kind of, you know, bending it at some point, or if you sit in an awkward place, it could bend. So you kind of want to just keep it loose. There's even, you know, like some areas here, you can see it kind of moves around. So you want it to have, I guess, some freedom of movement. So I'm putting my stitches, you know, fairly far apart, you know, considering compared to your usual sewing. Normally when you're doing trim, you'd want to put your stitches pretty close together, but I'm putting these, you know, maybe a centimeter apart or so. And while I'm sewing it, I just kind of go around the tape, not really worrying about that. So I'm just going to do a couple stitches here, and I'll walk it around some more. Around the tape. I didn't even bother with, you know, trying to sew where the tape is. So once I've done that, I can just peel it off. So a lot of the times I'll just sew around the whole thing And then peel the tape off. I'm going to walk around again so you can see the stitches.